Apologise if it's windy, but I live in Ireland, so it's always windy. Day 3 of my 30-day world in association with The Dead Man's Guide to Dragon Grin. If you haven't looked at it yet, I recommend that you do. Some really nice dudes have made a pretty cool product that I've had the pleasure of seeing some of in advance, and it's definitely worth a look. So if you want to find it, it's on Kickstarter. Oh my goodness, a little bird like right in that tree looking at me. So day 3 is, the question is, who is the most nefarious villain in your world? It's a tricky one because they're in Iskloft, there aren't any nefarious villains or heroes really, there's just people. I don't believe that there are any nefarious villains in Iskloft. I think it's a place of grey, and by that I mean morality wise. I don't think it's a place where there is a good and evil, a right or wrong necessarily. There are like lots of laws. Those laws are more like codes actually that people live by. There are 9 noble virtues in Asatru, which is like the religion of worshipping the Norse gods. So there is that code that most people try and live by, and there's certain cultural things that are just taken for to be true. Like no one lies. Lying is a really, really bad thing to do in Norse culture. Honesty is like a huge and really important part of being a good person. So obviously there are people who don't do that and use that to their advantage, and that most people are honest, and most people assume that you're honest. But in terms of like a nefarious villain, I don't really see a lot of that in Iskloft, and I don't really write a lot of that in Iskloft because I don't think it is representative of our world either. I wouldn't say that there have been many nefarious villains in our world overall. I think there's points of view, I don't think anyone ever sets out and cackles like a maniac thinking that they're evil. I don't think that's what happens. If I had to choose a nefarious villain, I would say it would be the Alpha. And I say Alpha, it's not a person, it's a group of things, the Alpha, the elves. In Iskloft, I have taken the concept of elves and turned them into nightmare creatures, because to me, there's already something very frightening about elves in general. Like people just portray them as like slightly thinner humans who live a bit longer and have pointy ears. I think that's nonsense. I think what you're actually talking about is a creature that lives for like 800 years, that is like supernaturally quick, supernaturally strong. It has this incredible vision like an eagle. All these sort of things are like pretty crazy, and so what I did is just kind of expand on those and add sort of some fae aspects. So the Alpha in Iskloft are kind of like a demigod-like figure. They're these immortal spirits, and far beyond the ability of a player character to defeat. And what they do really is, because they're fae, they cannot lie. It's impossible for them. Like they would if they could, but they can't. So what they do instead is manipulate and kind of choose their words very carefully and lead you to believe one thing is true when another is true, without outright telling you something that's a lie. And what they do is they try and trap you in bargains. They offer you like unlimited power or whatever your heart's desire is. They offer that to you, and in return they just want a small little thing. Often they want something to do with a child. They want you to name a child something. They want you to sacrifice your child to them. Just put it in a forest. They won't hurt it. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. Because they can't make more of themselves, but they can, and they can't really influence the world of Iskloft. Midgard is the plane, I guess you would say, if you're talking about cosmology. So yeah, they can't really affect Iskloft very well, not particularly well. So what they have to do is try and get a foothold, and they do that by taking mortals and turning them into their servants. And they need that to be a child or a baby because they're evil fucks. No, because it's just like part of the fae sort of feel. I like the idea of them stealing young people and doing nefarious things with them. So I guess the Alpha are the most nefarious villains that you'll find in Iskloft. I mean, there's plenty of like reavers and shitty dudes who like and ladies who like run reaver crews and rape and pillage and murder. But that's like that's not an evil in this setting, because it's kind of like it's assumed that that's okay. It's like if you go back far enough into like ancient history, slavery was just fine in ancient Rome, and it was like an expected part of being a human. If you're captured, then you're a slave. This is similar. It's like people do this to stay alive. They need to raid, and so there's nothing overtly evil about doing that. So I think the Alpha really are the most nefarious villains, in that they try and trick you, they try and trap you with your own morality. They offer you whatever you want for something that seems like it's not going to be a terrible consequence, but surely will be. Okay, so that's it for today. That was question number 3, I think. And yeah, there'll be more of these every day here on the Jarl DM. You can catch my Kickstarter coming out next month, end of April. It's going to be real exciting. If you like Iskloft, then you can go there and give me some money so I can pay artists to put nice things in it, along with some words that I wrote. That's it from me. Any questions about the setting, anything like that, or if there's anything you want me to discuss about the setting that's not mentioned in those questions, which you can find on the Absolute Tabletop official group, then just let me know and I'll happily do so. Alright, take it easy.